Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm, and I'm starting off in the shop this morning. Jason was finishing up some things with his video, making a thumbnail, and I told him I'll go wet the horses' feed, and that way he can come behind me and actually feed them. It'll have time to soak, and all will be well. I wanted to show y'all Miss Pink this morning. A lot of you have been asking, is Miss Pink still sleeping in the shop? Is she still coming to the shop every day? And y'all, she has a mind of her own. There are nights or evenings that we call her and call her and call her, and she will not come. And then we leave the door cracked for her. We leave food in here. Who knows what kind of cats we're feeding, but the food will be gone the next day. And Pink decides when she wants to come up here and when she doesn't. When she comes before we shut the doors, we do lock her up in here for her safety, and she was in here all night last night, and you can see she's just a drooling and dribbling, and that's just Pink. So as soon as I get the horse's food wet, I will open the door and she can make her decision what she wants to do today. Right, girl? You're such a sweetheart. All right, Pinky. Enjoy your day. I'll be back over here soon. Y'all, since we've got the whole place just about fenced in, we do let Arlo and Gidget come out with us under supervision, and he really enjoys it. Of course, Dee Dee, wherever you are in the camera, gets to go just about wherever she chooses, because she knows her boundaries. But Arlo, you can see how fast he can scoot. I don't let him go out to the road unless he's in the garden area with the fence closed, because he could get out that fence in just a second. Look at how fast he can scoot. Buddy, you ready to go up? Yeah, that's for your safety. Go on in. My goodness. The mouth of the South and her husband. You can hear him. He makes that little hissing sound, and she's the one that normally has the, well, loud mouth. And this Muscovy, there she goes. This Muscovy duck, he tries to steal her from her mate. It's a big old mixed up mess around here. It really is. Y'all ready for some food this morning? Oh goodness. Tommy, you much bigger than that duck. You know, I'm continuously on the lookout for Egyptian goose nesting spots, because lo and behold, if they were to hatch a whole clutch of those things, I think Jason might have to find a new address. He couldn't tolerate it. It just kind of blends in with the noises that I hear here on the farm. I don't particularly pay much attention to it, but whoo, it gets on his nerves really bad. Thankfully, we only have one female. I'm not sure if y'all can see them right there, headed down the hill. 2 female mallards and 1 mallard male. And then down there at the pond, we have a total of 6. I believe we have 4 females and 2 males, and one of those being a call duck. My video today is kind of focused on them and their safety. I love mallards. More so, I think, over the years, more so than geese. I shouldn't say that, but they're easier to care for, I should say. The mallards, they just spend most of their time in the pond. They don't depend on our food or laying crumble. They are filter feeders, so they're eating things out of the pond instead of this kind of diet, which is, well, I got nuggets. Nugget, what did I put the scoop in the bag. This food, which is emu food. Did you eat all your food from yesterday? Here I am looking down in the bucket with the camera. Y'all, I'm pathetic. Pathetic. Looking down in the bucket, but I was looking at my face. You've got food in your bucket, buddy. Yeah. So, got nuggets food in a bag here separated from the goose feed. I'm gonna get them some food before I head on over to the barn. And it's fine if Nugget eats this too. Just we offer him the specific emu feed because you're a good boy, right? Yeah, you're a good boy. You ready to go visit with your friends this morning? Huh? I'm trying to think of ways that I can help them out and also allow for a place for the female to lay her eggs. Last year, she laid eggs in the greenhouse out front, one of the females. And there is a place where the side walls roll up. So it doesn't, it's two pieces of plastic that come together. Something got in there and got all of her eggs. And of course we saw some remnants and we knew something had gotten the eggs, but it's never been successful. Even when babies have been born, they don't make it. So I want to try to help them out with that. Do love the flying ducks. Girl, I was about to get worried about you. You were never not waiting at the fence for your food, for your breakfast in the morning. I had to look around to find you down there trying to see if Jessie and Honey left anything. Everybody else is still locked up and you looking for empty bowls. All right, I'm gonna get y'all squeals of joy fixed up and I'll be right back. Good morning, Opie. I am no longer locking these guys up in their stall at night. Opie and Ernest T have full range to the farm at night. And we locked them in there because it was a way to keep them separate while they fed, and they were taking a long time to eat. But now they are quick to consume their food, and we just let them right back out. You can see Ernest across the pasture, Jessie and Honey out there, Nuggets on the other side where the geese are until we open that gate. But goodness gracious, I didn't want one of them to get hurt by leaving that gate shut at night. And there were numerous times that we came to feed in the morning and Opie be in with the goats or Opie be on the outside of the pasture. And luckily, nothing ever happened, but Jason and I just decided the best thing to do is to let them out after they eat. So that's the new feeding strategy for emus. I got Gus and Loretta fed, got Pocket and Peaches fed, getting ready to go feed the cows, and this little dog amazes me. How in the world she can get out to the back area, but she can't get back in is beyond me. Dee Dee, you're not stuck. You went out that door, baby. I know, you went out. You got to come back in. You think your front side's a little bit wider coming this way? Just like that. Just like that, Dee Dee. That's all it took. You're here. My goodness. Everybody has their places at the cow trough. Mr. Moody's got one side and the other three have one side. And Matilda, I have started hanging her bucket up. Some of y'all think she needs a bigger bucket. I don't think you realize how big this bucket is. It doesn't look that big because she's got a big old noggin. But I haven't seen a bucket that has a handle on it that's bigger than this one. And I've looked. I promise you. I've looked in all the feed stores. I've looked in Tractor Supply, the big box stores, and I haven't found anything any bigger. So I'll show y'all in comparison to a regular bucket how big Matilda's feed bucket is. And she's going to tear it off of this. Well, it's like a little hanging mechanism that's made out of metal, but she takes it almost immediately off the little lip that it sits on. And then you just have a pin that holds the handle on, and she's going to tear it up. She's going to tear it up. But it prevents me from having to go find a bucket every time I feed her. And goats are crying because they want to be let out, and Miss Loretta has made it all the way over here with her feed bowl. Did you get it all, girl? Did you eat it all up this morning? Good. I'm glad you brought it over here. That'll be easy for me to collect it. Oh, not only did she bring hers, she brought Gus's too. She brought Gus's. She made sure he ate all his breakfast. He's still in the stall. I'm going to get these back before I let the goats out. Yeah, Red's on the inside getting a little extra nutrition. And he has to let me know that he's indeed finished and needs to come out. Morning, Topper. You moving a little slow this morning? Loretta said, move out of my way. I got to see if y'all got anything left in here. There's not going to be anything, girl. They eat all their food, just like you. All right, Red. You done? Oh, you thought I was coming that direction, didn't you? You better come on, Loretta's gonna get in. Come on, baby. Come on. He said, no, Mama, you don't let me out from that way. You always come from this side. He didn't decide to clean his bowl and make sure there wasn't anything left until he saw that, well, I was coming. So, it's time, buddy. You're all done. You're all done. It's time to go out with your friends. Yep. Loretta standing here. She can't wait to make sure everybody's had all their breakfast. All right. One last thing to take care of before we start on our project. And the project today involves the barrels that I picked up while Jason was out of town with Mary Carl on the birding trip, and the lumber. And so some of you already guessed that I was going to try to make a floating platform. And that is what I'm going to attempt. I am just hoping that it's going to float. I really am. I've watched videos. I've seen other people do it. And I don't know. I know the barrels will seal shut. I know that they will hold the weight capacity that I have designed the dimensions for. But anything can happen. I just don't give myself a lot of credit, I guess. I should say, I'm going to build a floating platform and then we're going to put it in the pond. My mind doesn't work like that. So I have two things in mind with this floating platform. Today, I want to get the platform built, make sure it floats. If that works, then I have a second idea, but we got to complete step one before we can go to step two. Now, the platform is designed for the mallards, or the flying ducks, to give them somewhere to land. I know they're not going to lay eggs out into the wide open on the platform, but that's where the second part comes in. Y'all ready? Fence is off. Fence is off. Y'all sure are giving us a lot of good eggs these days. Daylight is longer, and y'all are some happy, happy chickens. And I sure am happy to have you all. I really am starting to guess, or second guess myself, thinking I need more. Because I may not need any more chickens. I may be just fine with the flock I have. If y'all heard me say that and I end up with baby chicks, don't remind me of what I said, okay? I have some specific breeds in mind, and if I were to see them, I may add a few more chicks. But I'm not going out with the intentions of thinking I need more laying hens, because I think I'm good with what I have. We got some clucking going on in the hen house. We do. I think that means we got some eggs coming up. Let's see what we got this morning. Well, good morning, girl. She was the one chattering. Off she goes. She said, I gotta hurry up. I'm gonna miss my snack. I was on the box and almost missed out. Yeah, today might be another 2-basket kind of day, so I'm gonna grab one of the biggest that I have. Yesterday I did have to get 2 baskets. Just getting a lot of eggs, and that's a good thing. This one had some comments about this basket, wanting to know where I got it because it was a chain in their area. I picked it up at a thrift store for like $1, and it's a good size egg basket. 4, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20. Girl, you watching me? 22, 24, 26, 28, 29, 31, 33. 33 eggs. Nobody on, oh, yeah, I do have a girl on this side. All right, I'm gonna get you fixed up. Gotta lower this bar so she can get in. This beautiful basket of eggs actually gets to come home with me today because our family has eliminated all the eggs in the refrigerator or on the counter, and we need to restock. So I usually just kind of pick a collection day when we run out and take all the eggs home and start over. When those run out, do it again. That way I'll always be able to offer some to the stand, and we'll have our fresh eggs ourselves too. It is really warmed up since getting a start this morning, so I think after I get the eggs inside, I'm gonna take this jacket off and we'll get started on our project. Well, I made Jason take a rest and I set my camera down, and I didn't want to disturb him, so I am using my phone to film with. I do have the saw sitting outside and got my lumber marked, so my goal is to get the platform screwed together and see how I can attach the barrels. So I've got sort of a frame here. I'm gonna lay the barrels inside of it. I think they're gonna need to go along this way. All right, and now I just need to measure for my bracing to keep the barrels as tight to the edge as possible. Close to the front. So we basically got a square with 4 barrels blocking on each side of the barrel, and I'm going to block it off in between the barrels on each side and then across, so I'll have somewhere to screw the deck boards onto. Hey, Tucker. What you doing, girl? I know that's Tucker because she's dusty, and Pink is usually a pretty clean girl. Yeah, I see you over there. So gonna get some measurements to go across there and a couple of braces cut for that. Blocked in except for the very center, and I want to leave that open because I need to be able to work there right now. I've got some polypropylene rope, and I think I'm just going to drill some holes and wrap the rope around the barrels for security. It's going to be a kind of a test as we go. The last thing I want to happen is to drill through a barrel. So I'm just going to get me a little pilot hole started so I know where I'm going. I would like to have the rope go over 3 different times. So I'm thinking in uniform or kind of equally spaced. Uh-oh. Oh, goodness. Areas will work best. Okay, now let's test it out and see if it's going to work like I think it will. Got that one. Get that very tight. There we go. And then tie it off just like that, and that should secure these barrels on. And I'll cut my rope off and go on to the next one. I've got this far. I've got a platform and it's got supports in it. I've got it drilled out for the barrels, but now I got to flip it upside down, and this may be my biggest challenge yet. I don't know how much this is going to weigh, but I'm not, as long as it doesn't come apart, we'll be okay. I've got me some 2x4s over here that I hope to flip it onto, so once I get the deck boards on top of it, I can use the tractor to pick it up and won't have to use my body. This is one time when I will have to use my own strength. And I think it's pretty heavy. I'm not going to hurt myself. And I'm not going to be able to move it by myself. I don't think. Maybe I'll push it out from Esso a little bit. It is stout. We got to do this one more time once the deck boards get on it. I say we. Maybe me and the tractor, because I've got to be able to put the barrels on the bottom of it. That's what's going to enable it to float. So I don't want to drop it right here because I want the 2x4s all the way under it. I think I can just walk it down. Good gracious, thing's heavy. Now I should be able to pick up on the back end. So now we're going to cut the deck boards to go across the top. Then we'll get it over to the water, tie our barrels on, and see if this thing will float. What do y'all think? You think it's going to float? I don't know. I hope it will, because I'm going to have flotation devices on all four corners. The middle's going to be open, and I just hope it doesn't do like that. It shouldn't, because it's uniform all the way across. And that's one of the reasons I put the brace in the middle. I wanted it to be completely uniform all the way around. Now it's starting to look like something. I had one deck board that I wasn't satisfied with the way it looked on the end. Luckily, I didn't have to use it because I had an extra. So I've got my platform complete. I just got to screw it down and get it over to the water with a leaf on top. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but the wind's blowing pretty good here today, and I've been in the shop until this, so hopefully y'all could hear me. But I'm gonna get these screwed down and then see if I can't pick it up with the big tractor. Well, it's getting late in the afternoon, and I did get the platform completely built. Got it screwed down, ready to go. But I got a problem. My tractor is being used at the moment by Mr. Caden, who just set off his truck alarm on accident. That was funny because you could hear the dog. The dog started howling as soon as they heard Caden's truck alarm go off. But Caden's down there on the tractor loading up some blocks, some cement blocks that have been stored down at the old barn since we moved here. And he's moving them to the garden area where we can put them on tarps and utilize them in that way. But they're down there on the, let's see, right there in that corner. He's driving the tractor bucket, loading the tractor bucket up, and then taking them out to the greenhouse. So with him using the tractor, I don't want to stop him from what he is busily doing. I want to give him an opportunity to work this afternoon. Besides, I still got to cook dinner. So I'm going to get some chili started for dinner tonight and let Mr. Caden finish his job. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick this big, we're going to call it a dock, up, and hopefully with no trouble I will move it over to the pond area where I can flip it over and install 4 barrels to allow it to float. Let's hope it does what it's supposed to. So I'm going to get everything put up for tonight because I shouldn't need the saw anymore, and tomorrow we'll be back at it. Well, it's another day and Caden's off at school, so I get to use the tractor. And I'm going to attempt to take this platform over to the pond and get the barrels attached with Jason's help. Thank you, Jason. He's over there getting some drill bits ready. And I may not even need any help except for flipping it over, which I'm not going to attempt to do again by myself. I did that without the boards on, Jason, and it was rather heavy. So I hope that with the help of the tractor, I'm starting to second guess if the forks are actually long enough to pick the platform up. But if it doesn't at least cover half of it, I may have to come in from the other side. We'll just have to see. That is the short side though, the way we're facing. And the fork should be 4 foot and the platform's 5 by 6. All right. All right, so we know it'll pick it up. It's on there pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, got a strap on it around the forks. And I would like to get everything in one trip, but I don't know if that's gonna work. So we can set it. I think I'll do them this way. I'm gonna need your help getting in the gate because obviously Nugget's gonna be inquisitive a little bit. And hopefully this goes well.
You gonna make it?
Mr. Inquisitive himself. You see, that's kind of scary. Not only do I have Nugget for an audience, they were all standing up at the gate trying to figure out what we had going on over here that they were not involved in. All right, Nugget, we need some help, buddy. I want it to where I can access the handle in case I gotta put some water in them. I can crack it open. All right, that's good. All right.
Good.
How's that?
We get it stood up.
Oh, we're good.
We're good.
We are good.
Okay.
All right. All right. Gonna be a runaway raft. Should I get on it?
Get on me, give you this rope.
You have confidence, huh?
Yeah.
Look, I'm scooting now. I'm just happy it floats.
It floats.
I'm proud of myself.
It looks pretty awesome, Brooke.
I am proud of myself.
Right there, like hook fin.
Yep. Think I ought to tie
Maybe we ought to call it cluck fin.
cluck fin. Ducks don't cluck though.
Oh, that's right. I thought I was on to something. Oh.
We do have to have a cute name for it.
We'll come up with something.
Quack something or duck something.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
But that's after the second part gets done.
Okay.
Don't need a name now.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, I must say.
You could have built our house.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I had my doubts that it would work.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I even did some calculations as to, the size of the platform
Yeah.
versus the amount of buoyancy needed with barrels. First I told the guy I needed 2.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, they say they're 30 inches in the description, or 30 pound barrels, I'm sorry. And I did some math, and it was about 30 inches high. And I said, 2 of those is not going to float a 6x6
No,
platform.
I could have told you
So
that.
then I had to wait another day because he had to gather another barrel.
Oh,
And went and picked them up. And
I got you.
I think it's perfect. Perfect.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, I'm just gonna wait. Maybe Nugget will come get me. Nugget left us.
Yeah, Nugget's gone.
He'll be out here on this raft floating around for you know.
Oh gosh, Captain Nugget instead of Sheriff Nugget.
That's right.
Let's see if I can get you closer.
Well, you want me to go to the back?
Yes, I can get you up here. That might be all. I got you right there.
Might want to roll my pants up, huh?
Yeah.
All right, should I tie the rope around this and put a cement block on the end of it? Or should I just go fetch it when I need
I think when you get off of it, I can pull it on up here.
How?
I can reach over.
You think?
Yeah. Once you get off of it, I can get it on. I can get it up here.
Look, get off of it. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
One day we're gonna have a nice pond. Well, y'all, it's obvious that the pond is not in the state that we would like for it to be, but we're gonna get there one step at a time. It's really dried up a lot. We've got some rain coming in tomorrow, and we're just trying to put some irons out before we start another project. And hopefully when that time comes, we'll be lower than what we are here. It may be that we can leave the water in the bottom because the bentonite clay is going to settle. It's heavier than the water, and we may not drain it out, but I want it to be done correctly. I don't want to come back and say, well, the pond's leaking again. So we don't expect it to be done overnight, but we are going to tackle this project. And until then, I'm going to have a raft, and that raft was a success. I just am bad about doubting myself, and it wasn't really me, I wouldn't say. It was the project. I felt like it may not work out for me, and I need to do a better job at that. We all have things that we need to do a better job with, and that's one of my problems, and I'm going to work on it. So when I have time, I'm going to work on the pond, and we will be back for another part 2 to this Duck Island, or y'all tell me some names, the Quack Shack or something catchy, because I think you're gonna like it, and I think the ducks will too. So I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, y'all be good.